This summer, I keep finding myself doing things I've never done before. I've committed myself to fiestas this summer. Before, I'd gone to fiestas here and there. Most of them were from my town and my ayuntamiento. This summer, I find myself all over Asturias. This is a significant change from my life in the US. There were lots of things to do. Yeah. The thing is, living in Florida, it was always too humid and there were way too many mosquitoes. Additionally, I'd have been working way too much. Working too much was a combination of two things: paying to live life and pursuing the American dream. Hi, I'm Kina. I'm a formerly burned out American living the dream in Spain's countryside. Until I reached my 30s, I was pretty content with my life. I had the opportunity to travel the world as a flight attendant, experiencing different cultures and ways of life. Once I'd settled down, my thoughts on success changed. For a long time, the American dream was a clear cut idea. It was about more money, a bigger house, a nice car, a second car, possibly a boat, and definitely a side hustle or two just to get ahead. I didn't want a boat, but many people I knew had one or were interested in getting one. Remember, I'm from Florida. It was about relentless upward mobility, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, proving your worth through material success and tireless work ethic. For some, that dream worked out. They achieved that comfortable life. It was good for them. You could say, I made it too. The thing is, for many Americans, that dream feels like a myth. It's a moving target that's pretty much out of sight. The goalposts shift, wages stagnate while the costs soar, healthcare anxieties are huge. The pressure to overwork to stay afloat, let alone get ahead, has become overwhelming.
Fantasías distintas. Estas son telas de tablilla. Sí. Es una forma de tejer de lo más antiguo que hay.
For many, especially younger generations, the idea of owning a home, let alone retiring comfortably, feels less like a dream and more like a fantasy. This isn't a knock at anyone's effort. It's the reality people are facing. The traditional American dream, with its heavy emphasis on material gains, it can leave many good people feeling like they've failed, even when they've tried their best. Can the American dream, the pursuit of a better, more fulfilling life, be found somewhere else? What do you consider to be the American dream? Spaniards seem to aspire to security. Let's call it the Spanish dream. It often revolves around securing a stable job with excellent job security and a reliable pension. It's about having enough to live comfortably, enjoy life, and provide for your family, all without the constant pressure to amass vast fortunes or work yourself into the ground. This isn't to say that Spaniards don't work hard, but the cultural emphasis is less on hustle culture and more on a balanced life. The idea of a side hustle for extra income isn't as prevalent or glorified. Instead, there's a deep appreciation for leisure time, family connection, and the simple joys of life. This contrasts starkly with the American idea, where ambition often means sacrificing personal time for professional advancement. This Spanish emphasis on stability and quality of life is attractive. The difference in dreams is also tied to the role of government support. In Spain, there's a much greater reliance on robust social safety nets. Government pensions aren't just a nice to have, they're a fundamental expectation for retirement. With the decreasing birth rates, it has become a contentious topic here.
You're still and just videos better for when you're moving because it goes.
Oh, is the car full of something?
Job security, specifically the public sector, is highly valued. It provides a sense of peace that many Americans can only dream of. This is different from the American ideal of self made success, where people are often expected to fend for themselves, save for their own retirement, figure out healthcare and unemployment all by themselves. Imagine this mental shift. Instead of worrying about layoffs and market downturns or healthcare costs, having the expectation that a health scare won't make you homeless.
Ah, para la... Sí, ya, 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 ya.
This doesn't mean that there are no economic challenges in Spain. It doesn't guarantee everyone a comfortable life, but the underlying idea is different. For an American coming from a system where individual responsibility is paramount, a society that prioritizes collective well being feels like a revelation. It frees up mental energy that was consumed by financial anxiety, allowing you to focus on other parts of life. One of the most compelling aspects for me is Spain's healthcare system. It reshapes the feasibility of a dream life. Imagine going to the doctor, getting the care you need, and not having to worry about a mountain of bills afterward. It's a concept that can feel almost revolutionary to somebody from the US, where healthcare costs are the leading cause of bankruptcy. It isn't just about physical health, it's about mental well being. The constant stress of navigating insurance and deductibles and copays is frustrating. The fear of catastrophic illness, it can be debilitating. That peace of mind that comes from knowing you're covered without the constant anxiety of medical debt is huge. Spain also offers other social benefits like public education, public transportation, but both of these contribute to a higher quality of life and reduce the financial burden on individuals. These allow people to take risks, pursue passions, and live more freely without the constant fear of financial ruin. Even within the US, the definition of the American dream has always been of a moving target. When Americans move to Spain, they're not necessarily abandoning the idea of a dream, they're just redefining it for themselves. They are taking the concept of a better life and applying it to a new context. For expatriates and immigrants, the dream might become less about accumulating wealth and maybe more about collecting experiences. Find a community that values balance. It's about personal fulfillment. The truth about the American dream in Spain isn't about finding a cheaper version of the same dream. It's about finding a different dream altogether. It's the lifestyle, it's the work-life balance that is a deeply ingrained cultural value. It's a long meal with friends and family. It's walking everywhere. It's the joy of simple pleasures. A perfectly brewed coffee, a fresh pastry, a local market. It's having the time and space to pursue hobbies, to connect with people, to travel easily across Europe, to genuinely live instead of just working to live. Living in Spain encourages a redefinition of success. It shifts the focus from money and possessions to actual happiness, health, and balance. Success becomes having time for your family, enjoying good food, walking in the sunshine, learning a new language, and feeling a sense of belonging. It's trading the rat race for a slower, more intentional pace. It's thriving over endless striving. Thanks for joining me. It looks like YouTube wants you to watch this, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye. Subscribe if you haven't already.